Well, fall again. I feel like this year's just flew by. Seems like that keeps happening every single year, but here we are. Nice 50-degree, cool weather day. I think we're just a little bit past peak with the fall colors this year. They're just a little bit more on the brown side than they've been in years past, but it's still pleasant to be outside, enjoying the day. Sort of photography is always a bit of a struggle for me with these trees, just since they blend together so much. The sun's just decided to poke through as I was about to start walking again. Let's see what we can do with that. See if we can frame it a bit with the log a bit more. Easy come, easy go. All right, now we'll continue hiking. I think that maybe one of the things that I enjoy most about photography is just how much a brief instance of light can end up changing a scene. And what matters beyond that is just getting to that spot at that moment. Not to say that I think that was a good photo, but an enjoyable aspect of what you're doing out here shooting. You really are just capturing one instance in time. I'll never exactly be like that moment ever again, and you get to be there for it. So the woods through here, I knew would end up being a struggle fest as far as taking any photos. Just it's difficult to isolate out a subject in order to end up really working with it. Probably easier to use a tighter focal length. I have the 16x35 on right now, but we need to worry about the timing with the sun setting. We've got maybe about a little bit over 2 hours here. A little further in along this hike, we'll go past a couple of water reservoirs that feed into New York City's water system, and hopefully we'll be able to get some nice shots further in there. I need to keep it moving though. It's probably about, let's see, so 4:09. We're not nearly to the halfway point yet, and sunset's at 5:59 tonight. So I need to get to those lakes and get those photos there before the day ends, because I mean, I have a flashlight, but I prefer not to hike back in the dark alone. Objectively very beautiful with all this yellow going through here, but you can't really separate that out into an image with a subject, and that's what you need to make it interesting at all. Otherwise you just get this sea of leaves and tree, and your mind kind of gets confused looking at that. You don't really know what to look at. This little steeper section, then we'll at least have a little bit of a view. Well, that's so much for the thought of that view. We're at about 4:40 p.m. and I haven't even reached my turnaround point yet. So this is about halfway between when I started and when sunset will be. So certainly need to keep moving. Probably will be walking back to the car in the dark, but that's mostly along an access road, so should be pretty easy to navigate back from there. Not to mention, I just don't want to be a bother to all the people that are just hanging out there. A couple people set up with their campsites for the night, already have their fire going. If I were doing that, I don't think I would take too kindly to somebody just kind of poking around, grabbing a bunch of photos. I'd be like, what is this wacko doing? So we will keep hiking. With 1 hour left until sunset, I reached the turning point for the reservoirs, reminded myself why I was out here. Fun check, fun check. Then continued down the hill to get some lakeside photos before the day ended. I may be just a little bit overzealous whenever it comes to locations and shooting, because I kind of just, you know, if I'm going for a location that's more natural like this, I don't want to see infrastructure at all. I really want that whole untouched by mankind vibe. Unless I'm like going for something where, I guess the old decay of people once being there, that's also interesting to me too. "36 minutes until that sun is down. And it's gonna get dark very quick. And I still have 2 more reservoirs to pass on the way back. Oh, let's see if temptation finds its way to me. I mean, I can get a quick shot of the reflections across the way. We'll do that and I'll throw that up and then keep moving. We're just coming up on the second reservoir. We have a third one to pass yet. I don't know at what point I'm going to end up putting the tripod away, but there will be a moment. There's a spot I've taken a photo of before. I'll show it now. And it's exactly what I was talking about before, where you kind of need something to break up the mid-ground, but I just don't think we have the light right now to be able to pull this off. Let's go ahead and switch out for the wide lens. And I think we're going to just be leaving that on for the rest of the evening here. Oh. So my concern is taking a photo at this spot. It's just going to be too wide with not a lot going on in it. And I'll show you why that's an issue. I mean, don't get me wrong, looking at the scene overall, you're thinking, my goodness, what a beautiful place. But the light is not very dynamic and the scene's fairly flat. So now we're set up on the tripod. Go ahead and adjust the zoom out. So we're at 16 millimeters now. Looks like it's gonna be around half a second or so. And there's our image. But there's not really anything to pull your attention in. You're just kind of like, wow, there's a lot going on here. And then that's the end of it. That doesn't particularly make a good photo. A beautiful scene does not always mean a beautiful photo. So I think maybe if we can pull a little bit of foreground into the image, just so that there's something else for you to end up looking at, that could be helpful. So we're gonna pan down a fair amount. Now we have the reflections in the water a bit more. A bit less sky as well. I'm going to focus on the horizon first, and then I'll do one focusing on the foreground here. And then just for shiggles, one more with the sky. So after putting those 3 images together, it's a little bit more of an interesting scene, as opposed to just walking up and taking a photo of a beautiful place. You kind of need to work with the components that you have available. I mean, I'm not saying that this is a fantastic image, but just 2 cents of what I've learned over the years and doing this for fun. Looking at these images side by side, the first thing you're going to notice is the one on the right was already cropped. That was the first image that we took at the location. We pulled it into a 16:9 to try and direct your attention in towards the trees and the reflection in the water. The image on the left-hand side, we ended up using the full sensor of the camera, so that's the full image, and we tried to direct your attention upward by using the foreground with the land in the image. The image on the right, we can actually do a little bit more editing and try and direct your attention in more towards the trees. And we'll go ahead and slowly show that now by adding a gradient filter to the reflection of the sky. Let me know what you think. Oh boy, 5:45. Oh, we need to go. Usually my feet would be wet right about now walking through this little section of the trail and the water right up against the side of this barrier, but it's pretty far out here. We need some rain. Just like 5 minutes until that sun is set. So I put the tripod away, maybe about the end of our day. We are post-sunset now, so it is getting darker and darker. I've pulled out the flashlight just to help out with navigating the rocks a little bit, but haven't made it to the third reservoir yet. Perhaps there won't be a photo over there. We'll see. Either way, I'm glad I came out tonight. Oh, good. Here we are. The third reservoir, which is pretty close to where we parked, so we're doing A-okay on timing. Not that hiking in the dark is the worst thing in the world, but I think I prefer desert and rocks at nighttime to woods. Trees are just a little bit spookier. Well, back at the car. Thank you to those of you that stuck around through this one. I appreciate that it was very different from any of my previous videos, just because, well, usually if I'm showing people photography, I want it to be in more grandiose locations. Like when I was first doing videos on this channel, it was a lot more local stuff. And then I've done a couple of trips, and I feel like it's kind of put the pressure on me to make a lot of these videos of these really amazing, fantastic places, and I need to remind myself that it doesn't have to be that the reason why I'm doing this channel is to just take photos and have a good time doing so. So if that's still of interest to you, aside from me putting on my shoes after doing the hiking boots, let this car pass. So if that's, yeah, I lost my train of thought with that car going by, but thanks for those of you that stuck around and joined in on this one. I'll see you around. Take care. Bye.